Thank you. Further debate. I recognize a member from Simcoe Grey.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's an honour on behalf of my constituents and people of Ontario to talk about this motion, which talks about the high cost of electricity and how that's hurting Ontario families and businesses and killing jobs in the province. But I want to just take about 3 minutes to dispel some of the myths that the government is spinning out there these days with respect to electricity. I was the minister that broke up in 1998 the old Ontario Hydro, and why did I do that? We had $34 billion in debt. What did the Auditor General tell us just a few months ago? With all of the green energy nonsense, we have $133 billion worth of liabilities in the electricity system, Mr. Speaker. We paid off the debt retirement. You actually kept it on 3 years longer. It was paid off in 2012, 2013, that original $34 billion. You've more than quadrupled that, plus you kept the debt retirement charge on for an extra 3 years. That's the Auditor General himself telling us that, the former Auditor General. With respect to rates, you have among the highest rates in North America, but you have by far the highest all-in price in North America when you do delivery charges, which have skyrocketed, and delivery charges have skyrocketed because you've run high voltage power lines down side roads that had regular power lines just to meet the two windmills at the end of the road or the two solar panels. You've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of extra miles and incurred hundreds of millions of dollars in new costs. You forget to mention that to the people of Ontario, and we're paying for every kilometre of that wire that wasn't necessary. So you might want to remind people about that. Just to fix a stupid clean energy plan, which has turned out to be enormous cost, an enormous generational cost to the people of Ontario. And I don't know how you're going to get out of it. As said today by many people, there's an apology from the Premier, but there's no concrete solutions. And I want to talk about Hydro One. When I was, the issue first came up when I was acting interim leader, and we said from the very beginning, our position has never changed. And you spin that our position has changed, it's not changed, that you should keep majority control. That maybe you bring in some private sector, because none of us, I admit, on either three parties have done a good job of running Hydro One. But if you wanted to bring in market discipline, you would bring in some companies to help you with that expertise on the board. But the people of Ontario didn't give you a license in the last election to get rid of majority control and lose majority control at the corporate table of that corporation. You're simply burning the furniture to heat the home. And it's a disgrace, and eventually you're going to run out of furniture. The only reason you're doing it is you're broke because you're waste mismanagement and, frankly, incompetent government in this province. So,
Order. From
He was addressing the chair, not pointing fingers and calling you all the time in his remarks. Thank you very much.
Take care of that. I've already addressed that. Thank you. You're wasting time. Continue.
And the last myth that I have a minute for, you talk about the cost to closing down the coal plant. I've noticed speakers on the Liberal side and the Premier's onto that. The cost of power today is lower than it was. Cost to produce power, including without the coal plants. That cost has been absorbed into the system. They're written about by many, many people. If you look at the HOPE, which is the hourly Ontario price of electricity on the Ontario Power Authority, the IESO now site, it gives you the minute-by-minute price. It's between 2 and 3 cents per kilowatt hour. It has been over the last 2 years on average. Congratulations, you're producing power at Bruce, at Pickering, at Niagara Falls, at less than the 5 to 8 cents it was when I was minister. It's the global adjustment and the delivery charges, the $133 billion worth of debt, that is giving us the highest electricity all-in bills in all of North America. Tell the truth over there.
Thank you. Further debate.